Good afternoon, students. It's Friday afternoon, and we have completed our first week of school. It was a short week, but it was an exciting week, and we have covered a few things that I'd like you to continue to practice. Now, I'm not going to ask you to work on the weekend or work on a Friday afternoon. That's going to be up to your parents to decide how to manage your time. But you do need to do these activities that are posted in Google Classroom. So you'll find time to do it if it's this afternoon, whether it's later at the beginning of next week, whenever. But I do need you guys to consistently practice this writing because we need the practice. That's quite evident. So let's go back to review the letter C that we talked about. And every one of you knows the shape. You know that it's like a curve, and you all identify it. You even all know the sound it makes. It's how to draw it correctly and consistently, and practice it so many times that you just do it automatically and you don't have to think about it anymore. So watch how I do it. I'm going to continue a little more. Okay, so I already made these dots. We talked about the dots. I'm going to start on the dot, make the arc, and touch the bottom line. You do this over and over again, it just gets easier and easier. Now, I'm putting it on the dot. You can make a dot underneath the dotted line, or you can just put your pencil under the dotted line. Okay, start on the dot, make the arc, touch the bottom line. Start on the dot, make the arc, touch the bottom line. Start on the dot, make the arc, touch the bottom line. Each one of those should go up, touch the dotted line, touch the bottom line, and come up a little more. And there's a nice little arc. You do it over and over again. And I know right now I'm making it look so easy, and you might be thinking, oh, it's not so easy, and it's hard, and it's frustrating. Believe me, I get it. I get it. So let me help you out. And by the way, you got nothing to worry about. That's why we're here in school, is to practice, make mistakes, and get better. If something isn't working out, try it again. Okay, so I'm going to actually make some letter C's that have problems with it. Okay? And how about this? In fact, I just made those dots and I regret it. I'm going to take those dots out because I am just going to leave this open to make some letter C's, but I'm going to draw some of the common mistakes. Okay? So here, I'm going to make them in a different color. So here we got letter C's that I see people going like this. Okay? They are starting in the wrong place. See? People are not going under the dotted line. They're starting the letter C touching the dotted line. And they make the rest of the C fine because the bottom of the C looks good. The problem is the top of the C. Can we see that we're missing the arc? That's the part that's missing. And you want to do the letter C in one stroke, okay? One stroke means you're going to put the pencil down one time and write the whole letter and then pick up the pencil, okay? One stroke means you just put the pencil down once and you keep it down on your paper or whiteboard the whole time, okay? The reason I'm saying that is because I see some kids already this year developing this habit that is not good. They're starting right here and they make the C and then they go back for stroke number 2 and then they draw this piece of the letter C. And that is something that we don't want to do. That's not a good way to make the letter C. You need to make the letter C in one stroke. So I'm going to model that again. You start a little bit under the line when you're going to make the letter C, okay? When you start it, you need to be under that line. Then make the arc. Then do the bottom like most of you do just fine, okay? start under the line. And that way you can do the whole letter in one stroke. You don't want to break up the letter C into two little pieces like I've seen people do. You want one stroke on the letter C. Okay? So practice that. Letter C, I want you to do, I am going to assign, again, 3 rows. Okay, it's hard to write neatly on this. Okay, 3 rows of letter C, the lowercase. Okay, that is your first part of this writing assignment, is to draw 3 rows of letter C, just like we practiced, and avoid these errors. Okay, I'm going to make these arrows next to the things that you want to avoid. Do not get in the habit of breaking your letter C into 2 pieces and doing 2 strokes to make it, okay? Okay, quickly, let's write some words that start with the letter C. What will I do? How about I'm going to make a letter C, and then I'm going to write a more interesting word. I think yesterday I wrote like cat and cup, which are good. How about coconut? I like that word. You guys can handle that word, a coconut. That's a compound word. There's 2, well, kind of, cocoa, nut. Is cocoa a real word? It feels like a compound word, so coconut starts with the letter C. The sound of the letter is coconut. Okay, I think we are going to have to also practice letter sounds too. We will check that in class. Okay, how about another word that starts with the letter C? We're going to make another blue letter C. And let's try, I'm going to put a first grade word out there. A later first grade word. How about catch? So I like this word because the C sounds just like an ordinary letter C. Catch. But it has this tricky ending. Catch. Catch. If you look at just C-A-T, that says cat. Huh? If you cover the C-H, it says cat. But then you put C-H at the end, it says catch. Catch. Interesting. Okay, I am going to move on to another word that starts with a C. And again, don't worry about being able to spell these words. We're not doing this for spelling. If I say, I don't intend for you to have to know how to spell these words. That's okay. The point here is to make a good letter C. Okay, this is a penmanship lesson. So make fine letters, fine writing. That is the objective, okay? Okay, here's another letter C. And let me pick a citizenship word. Okay, that would be cooperate. Cooperate. And I like this word also because do you see how it has 2 letter O's? Cooperate. And the 2 letter O's, if you look at the letter O, it almost has, well, it does have the letter C inside of it. If you were to look there, it kind of has like, here, I'll show you, like a little letter C inside of there. So to draw the O, you're making a C. It's kind of interesting. So anyway, cooperate. You know this word. I'm sure your teacher in first grade or kindergarten taught about it, cooperating with people, which means taking turns with them, sharing materials. Maybe you have one book, but there's 4 kids. You need to hold the book in the right place so everyone can see. Okay, that's cooperating. Okay, and let's do one more of these words, starting with the letter C. And what can we do? How about this? Here's a good first grade spelling. Cube. Cube. Now it has that vowel U, and in this case, it's Q. It almost sounds like, in fact, it sounds exactly like the letter Q, huh? Q, Q. But the word is cube. And we know what a cube is. Let me sketch a quick cube. Like that. It's like a square, but then you make it three-dimensional. 3D, I'm sure you've heard of 3D. This is not a very good drawing, but you get the idea. It looks like a block, right? It's a cube. Okay, so say out loud, coconut, catch, cooperate, cube. And again, you're not responsible for knowing how to spell these words. I just want you to hear them, speak them, and just start to get familiar with these patterns, like these silent E at the end of a word, or that CH, or this idea of a compound word, maybe this isn't technically one, but that's the idea. And and start to see that. And of course, the penmanship. Penmanship means writing neatly. So I tried to write neatly here. Now it's not 100% perfect, but that's all right. You want to make sure you do your best to stay inside of these lines for the lowercase letters. Okay, I really don't want to draw on here. Here, maybe a little arrow to the side. Look at that. I'm making this little yellow arrow on the side. Okay, that's the center line, the middle line, the dotted line. It's the dotted line in the middle. And then we have the line on top, which for you guys is I don't want to get it wrong. Let me look at the whiteboard to make sure. Yes, the bottom is red. So if you're on the whiteboard, then the bottom line is going to be red. Okay, and the top line is going to be blue like this. That's what it looks like on your whiteboards. I'm sorry, my paper on the iPad is a little different. But anyway, you're going to do it just like that. And the point is to do as nicely as you can. Okay, and last but not least, again, practice simply the numbers. I'm going to march through them real quick right now. Get out your pencil and do this as well. And I'm going to remind you, pause this video in order to finish, okay? Don't just push play and listen to the end and then you're done. Write and pause the video until you finish, and then you can play the rest of the video to watch it, okay? So here we go. Just like we talked about yesterday, I'm going to put spaces between the numbers. Nice wide spaces, okay? Because if you put numbers close together, they join together, and it forms a larger number. So if I put the 3, or rather, if I put the 4 next to the 5, this is not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 anymore. Now it is 1, 2, 3, 45. So spacing is important. Make sure to have nice, clear spaces. The point of this is to write clearly. And with practice, you will get better. Oop, look at me, a little tiny bit underneath that black line. Look at that. Okay. Just like a perfectionist would do, which I am not. So now the number 6 is a little tricky. I am not even all that great at making a 6. Number 7, that's pretty easy for most kids. 8 is like this weird capital S that then does a reverse mirror image of itself, and that is hard for a lot of kids. This is like the upside down letter B, and then of course we've got 10. And now we are putting the digits close together. When we have 1 and a 0, it says 10. So these two digits do need to be close together. So this is your assignment. Just write it one time. One time. Write these numbers, but do it good. Okay? And once you do that, and you show your parents that you've done a nice job, then you have completed this assignment, and you get your star. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you on Monday, and have a great weekend.